Good afternoon, everyone. I am pleased to call the Subcommittee on Clean Air, Climate, and Nuclear Safety to order for a legislative hearing on the Crypto Asset Environmental Transparency Act, which I have introduced along with Senators Markey and Senator Sanders. And this is our first subcommittee hearing of the year. So Senator Rickards and I are going to begin, as they say in Casablanca, a beautiful relationship over the next 2 years. We're looking forward, of course, to working with Senator Copper and Senator Capito as well. And we are looking forward to partnering with them and their extremely helpful staff. And over the course of the next few years, there will be many important issues that we will be asked to consider. So we welcome our witnesses. We appreciate your willingness to appear today. So today is going to be the first Senate hearing ever held on the environmental impacts of crypto mining. They may be mining digital assets, but their activities have real-world consequences. This is an emergency and urgent issue, and Congress needs to be proactive and reactive in tackling it. The market size of the global crypto mining industry was estimated at $2 billion in 2022, more than one-third of which is in the United States. That industry is forecast to nearly quadruple over the next 10 years, which means its threats to our environment, health, communities, and climate are set to explode. Bitcoin mining consumes as much power globally each year as the entire Swedish economy. In the United States, carbon dioxide emissions from Bitcoin mining are equivalent to the annual emissions from as many as 7.5 million gasoline-powered cars. Right now, Bitcoin mining in the United States uses as much power as we need to light every single home in our country. And that demand on our grid is only going to grow. Now, that's an amazing number, that Bitcoin alone consumes as much electricity as every light on in our country every day. We face an urgent climate crisis, which the Biden administration has committed to addressing by reducing greenhouse gases by 50% by 2030. We know we need to tackle emissions from many different sectors of our economy, and I'm sure we'll have hearings on these sectors as well. But our first hearing is focusing on the crypto mining industry because it deserves the spotlight. It has grown explosively in the United States over the past 2 years. It is extremely energy intensive, and we've seen it harm the general public while enabling the creation of heavily concentrated wealth in our country. We are not here to debate the pros and cons economically of cryptocurrency. We're here to discuss what the impacts are environmentally in our society and what we can do to reduce its impact. As our expert witnesses will explain, Bitcoin was the first ever crypto asset, and it relies on a process known as proof-of-work mining. Crypto miners use large banks of computers that suck up huge amounts of energy to run computations and are awarded new Bitcoins as a result. Every 10 minutes, a miner will generate Bitcoins, a reward that are currently worth nearly $140,000. As the value of Bitcoin increases, there is more incentive to run more computers, consume more energy, and mine more Bitcoins. It's an energy arms race for the digital era. Bitcoin miners have already had a direct impact on our climate by bringing mothballed coal and gas-fired power plants back online to power their operations. But it's more than just climate issues. Mining equipment creates significant amounts of electronic waste. Mining requires huge amounts of water for cooling and power generation. And residents from across the country have provided me with testimony of devastating noise pollution from neighboring Bitcoin mining facilities. With an environmental impact like this, Bitcoin is more like digital coal than digital gold. The commodity is virtual, but the harm is tangible. While the Bitcoin mining industry claims that they can actually be a boon to the environment, saying that they can capture and burn vented methane to power their operations, or that they can actually improve grid stability, we don't have the transparency which we need to vet those arguments to see if that assertion is true. But we do have real-world examples of how the industry is already creating real consequences for communities. That's why we're here. The Crypto Asset Environmental Transparency Act would mandate a detailed EPA-led study of the environmental impacts of crypto mining. The act would also require crypto miners to report their carbon dioxide emissions under the EPA's greenhouse gas reporting program. The people who profit from Bitcoin mining can't be left to grade their own homework. A take-home exam that you grade yourself almost always gets an A. That's just human nature at work. We need someone to check that work, need independent, trustworthy, and accurate statistics so that that homework gets a grade that's independent. And I look forward to discussing how the study and reporting in my Crypto Asset Environmental Transparency Act can help inform Congress and the general public about these emerging issues. And all I can say is that I'm glad that we're going to be able to have an active subcommittee this year. I'm looking forward to partnering with the ranking member on the subcommittee, Senator Ricketts. And at this point, I'd love to recognize you for your opening statement.